Okay, we are back now with match number 3. Last match was an exciting 8-cube that decided the match. Marty won that one. So this is a best-of-5 format for the title of NEBC Club Champion. The match score is 1 match for Albert, 1 match for Marty. The players have put some dice on the board there. You can see there's a 1 and a 1. That signifies the match is 1 for each player. So one for Marty, 1 for Albert. This is the 3rd match. So Albert's on roll. He's thinking about cubing. He's got the 3-point board with Marty up in the air, and he's got a shot at Marty's blot. But he holds off. Now a 4-3. He hits, and he's getting ready to escape. A double 3 by Marty. That's a phenomenal roll. He comes in with 2 and then points on Albert, making a 4-point board. A huge joker for Marty. And now Albert fans, and it's Marty that has the doubling decision now. He has 5s that hit and put a second checker up. He's also got some 7s that hit. I think this is a cube. He's got a bigger board. Albert's got that 2-point, which is kind of misplaced point. It's really Albert that has the tough decision here. I don't know if I'd want to take this cube. Oh, what happened? Marty rolls. He might be thinking it's too good. Maybe I'm just way off. I might have doubled that, and I would have not been sure, and I would have probably passed. I don't think it's too good, so Marty's thinking it's not good enough because only 5s hit. I think that's what Marty's thinking. Only 5s hit. There's also some 7s that hit. So not good enough with 3 men back. I'm just way off here, I think. But now Marty has rolled kind of a bad number. If he wants to play safe, he's going to have to shift a point. So he's going to have to kind of weaken his board a little bit. It'll still be a 4-point board, but the best 4-point board is the one with the 4 points in a row because this has the best potential of turning into a prime or keeping your opponent from anchoring within it. But Albert's only got 1 man back, so anchoring's not really the main concern here. This is a blitzing position, and now double 3. Double 3 for Albert is going to come in and probably cover on his 8-point. So Marty's decision to hold off is looking pretty correct right now. He's very happy to not to have cube. Albert's back winning this game. 2-1. Marty slashes away, but Albert rolls a 3-4, which comes in and hits. He has to decide how to play the 4. He can come into the outfield and aim at Marty's second blot, or he can try to put more pressure on. It is a little bit safer to come down, but it makes it a little bit harder to escape. Marty rolls a 3-1, and he can go forward or back. The way to play to play backwards, he would make the second anchor, but he's deciding he doesn't need to do that right now. He can still win this forward. He's got the bigger board. He's got Albert kind of scrambling to safety checkers, but Albert rolls a 6-1, and this is just going to hit. So this hits. 3-4. Marty comes out to the 18, and now it's Albert that's thinking about turning the cube. Albert's thinking about the cube because Albert can go on the attack, but he does have some cleanup to do. He's got 2 blots loose, and so it's kind of hard to attack and clean up at the same time. And he's only got a 3-point board, so he decides to wait. And now 6-4 lets him safety everything up. And now a 2-1 for Marty, and his straggler on Albert's bar point is blocked. He can't move it, and so Albert's going to have a whole bunch of shots at that guy. Marty has to decide what he's going to do with the 2-1. He's coming down. He doesn't want to expose another blot. Another two he could have played would have been to split to the 20 or come up. He didn't want to do either of those things. He doesn't want to be on the 5 point where Albert's happy to attack, and he didn't want to give up the extra coverage he's getting. If Albert does hit him, Marty wants to be able to maybe make a second anchor. The problem is he doesn't have a second anchor yet, and if he doesn't get it, it's just it's going to be lights out. So I do think this is a pretty good cube. The tough decision for Marty, actually, it's a decision that Marty's the one that has the decision. I think this is an easy cube, and whether or not it's a take, I'm not sure. Albert does only have a 3-point board. Marty can anchor up in there, and Marty does have a 4-point board of his own. But the main problem Marty has to face is that he does not have a second anchor established yet. And if he doesn't get one, he could have he could have 3 men up on the roof. Could be a pretty easy gammon. So Marty lets it go. I think I agree with his choice. I think I would have also let that go. I'd have really wanted to take it, because you can see a lot of times you can still win that game if you anchor up, but you don't have a lot until you have not the threat of making that anchor just isn't enough. You have to already have it a lot of times to play a game like that. And even if he did have that anchor, how was the timing? Probably good enough, but he didn't have the anchor yet, and of course Albert hadn't hit him yet, so Marty wasn't always getting hit, but it just looked pretty treacherous. Anyway, Marty passes. Albert takes a 1-0 lead. And now a double 6. Albert's thinking about whether to make the ace or bring 2 builders down. He can also make the 8-point. Hitting isn't that valuable here. He's trying to scare away that straggler, which is covering his inner board, so that he's got a little bit of a race lead here. He might want that straggler away so that he can more easily come home safely. But that's looking forward a little bit too much. I think he's got to he's still got to keep his checkers together. He's still got to build points. So I agree with that. Making the ace isn't the right idea. The deuce could have been okay. It is a point at least in front of that checker that was trying to escape, but Marty rolls a 6-4 and escape, so Marty has kind of racing and holding chances now. Even though Albert ruled that double 6, the race still looks reasonably close. But now a 6-4. We got some background noise here. That's okay. We are playing it in a restaurant, and so it's kind of a social scene. There's some noise here, but we don't mind. 6-3 for Marty. He's building up his board, and now a 6-1 for Albert, and he's playing safely. Double 5s. Marty rolls a double 5s, and this might equalize the race. The race looks pretty close now. What is the race? Again, these guys count so much faster than me. I think it's 10 pips. I think Marty has taken a 10-pip lead in the race. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. So 4-3. Albert can make 2 points. He also could have maybe cleared his mid. But 5-point board. He's not wasting too much for the race. A lot of times when you put checkers on your deep points, they end up being liabilities in the race. So 3-2, I think he should clear his mid now. I don't think he wants to fool around anymore with keeping the. It's only a little bit extra contact. He's got 3. What is this? Oh, I see. Marty's got 2 blots in his board. Albert's behind in the race. I think this is kind of the wrong idea. I would just clear the mid here. I would keep the contact, and Marty's pretty happy to hit with some numbers. And Albert's not guaranteed to be able to, even if Marty doesn't hit, he can cover up his blots, and then Albert might get stuck there. It was an interesting idea, though. 6-2, and Marty's making kind of a strange-looking play. He's basically just trying to, he's looking forward to a race. It's not so strange if you think about what he's trying to do. He's trying not to waste checkers. He's trying not to create gaps. He's looking forward to the race, and he's trying to keep contact on Albert's rear checker. So now a 4-2, and Marty finally has to break one of those points. So Albert's got a pretty good holding game here. Marty's going to have to give up something on this roll. The race is still really close. I think 3 pips after the roll. I think Marty's up maybe 3 or 4 pips is what I'm counting. So Albert runs. He's trying to take advantage of Marty's 3 blots, but and it works. Marty's not able to hit, and now Albert's able to run and get into a race, but and now a double 5. So this is going to put Albert up ahead in the race. 4-3 for Marty, and I think the double 5 is going to be decisive. Albert's up 9 pips. 9 pip lead for Albert in a relatively short race. It's 56 pips for Albert, I think. So that would mean 65 for Marty. And I don't think Marty can take this cube. I think he's down just a little too much. So Albert does have 1 checker deep on his 2-point. That's a small adjustment, but mostly his distribution's good, and it's just too big of a race lead. I think Marty, I don't think, can consider taking this cube, and he's still counting. I should make sure. I'm almost certain. See, it is 9 pips. It's definitely 9 pips. And it's 42, 52, 65, 65 for Marty. So, yeah, it's 56 to 65, 9 pips. Even with the penalty for that blot on the deuce, I don't think it's enough. It's not. It's close. Maybe. Not sure how much the match score matters. A lot of times, a 1-0, even a 1-0 lead can affect things. But not so sure that that's a big consideration here, because the 4 cube is not going to be that. Match score is not going to affect the recube situation too much. So a lot of times, 1-0 lead, that would affect the score just because of what the recubes look like. But here, it's anyway. Marty does let it go. I agree with that decision. So now a 2-0 lead for Albert. 2-0. So some discussion going on. I'm not really sure what they're talking about, but I don't think they're taking a break. I think they're just having a little friendly conversation. Okay, 3-2 for Marty, and behind in the score, he decides to bring 2 down. That may also be his play at a normal match score. I don't know. That it's. I do think I remember him splitting earlier, so this may represent a slight change in tactics. The plays are close anyway. If the fact that they're close and Marty's behind, I think kind of gives the edge to the bringing 2 down and trying playing more of a priming game where there's kind of ratchet up the gammons. Anyway, 4-5, and now Marty's going to try to escape one of his men. Albert's made his bar point his 4 point, so he's kind of building up a block, and Marty wants to escape one of his men. So double 4 now, and Albert makes a nice 4 prime. So Marty is fortunate to have gotten 1 checker out. Albert can keep building up his prime, but Marty can slip away. He's only got 1 checker that he needs to get out. So 5-2 for Albert. I think he's gonna make the 5 prime with the 5, and then he's gonna have to think about what to do with the 2. Is he gonna split with the 2 and try to start his escape, or is he gonna play safe? He really doesn't want to. He really doesn't want to get another checker sent back, but he does want to kind of get his backman moving. So it's a trade-off. I think I would play safe here. Marty's only got a 2-point board. If he makes a 3rd point, there's still enough room there for Albert to escape. Oh, but Marty rolls 6-1, so this is one of the numbers that he would have been duping had he stayed there. Marty would not have hit with the 6-1. He would have made this point, and now double 6 is it makes a 5-point board for Albert, but the timing is the problem here. He's got 2 checkers now to scramble over a 4 prime, and he kind of had to give up his nice 5 prime here. Albert had to give up his 5 prime, but tactically, double 3s is phenomenal. Oh my God. Oh man, look at this roll. This is a ridiculous joker. So this lets him step up to the edge and close up his board, and now Albert has to decide if he's too good. He will crack with a number like double 4s, but everything else is pretty good. So he does not crack. He gets into the outfield, and now he has a very easy play on. So Albert's going to try to win a G here. So let's see. Marty's going to have 14 crossovers. 14 crossovers for Marty to save this G. So Albert's got to be a pretty good favorite to win this gammon. Marty's going to have to come in right away. He's going to basically need a crossover at every opportunity to save this gammon. Double 5. So Albert gets 2 checkers off. 5-2. I think he can just play safe, and Marty needs a 6 right away. He gets it. Marty gets the 6 right away. Okay, so he can maybe race off this G, but Albert rolls double 1s. That gets 4 checkers off. So even though he came in right away, he just still might get outrolled by Albert. And yeah, double 6s for Albert. And Marty's kind of helpless now. Like he's going to need a lot of help. Double 1s gets 3 crossovers, but he's desperate, and that'll do it. That makes it gin. Gammon for Albert, an undoubled gammon. Wow, those double 3s were phenomenal. Phenomenal. So 4-0. So in match number 1, it was Marty who leaped out to a 4-0 lead and then failed to score another point in that match. Albert won that first match 9-4. In match number 2, Albert got out to a 2-1 lead, and then there was Marty was holding a 4 cube in kind of a prime versus crash position. Albert's board was crashing. He was at the edge of Marty's prime. Marty had a 5 prime. Marty doubled to 8 from the roof. Albert took and wasn't able to escape, and Marty was able to bring it home. So Marty won match number 2, and here we are, match number 3. So 5-2, 5-2 for Marty. He's making the ace point, pointing on Albert. 4-1. So Albert comes in, and now he has to decide what to do with the 4. What should he do with the 4? I think I would just scoot to the 9. I think I would just come a little bit closer. It's a little bit more flexible because some of his numbers would be duped. Like 5-3 would be duped. So he, anyway, not a big deal. But 4-1, 4-1. So Marty slashes away, but Albert's able to hit back with the 4, and now with the ace, I think he just stays flexible and keeps that blot on the 9 point because that's a builder. Marty comes in with the double ace, so he's going to hit and think about how to play the last 2. He can create a new builder for that 5 point. He can try and spread out and get his backman moving. The main thing Marty has to pay attention to, I think, in this position is that he's made his ace point, so he is short of material. So Marty's got 3 checkers back. Albert's only got 1 back, and even though that guy's up on the bar, it's just really hard to contain that guy because Marty just doesn't have enough material up front, and 2 of those checkers on the ace point, that represents material that's mostly out of play. You can't really block Albert's checker with that point. All he can do is hope that it keeps Albert on the bar longer, but once Albert's off the bar, those checkers are just out of play. So how should Marty proceed with that in mind? I don't think he wants to focus on building up a prime or anything. I think he wants to focus on equalizing the number of min back. So maybe I would split here. I might move up to the 22 point. He would like to be able to cover that 5 point, but really he wants to send that second checker back. I think so. That's what Marty's doing. He's coming up to the 22 point, and let's see. Oh, Albert 2-6. So 2-6 is kind of a blocked number. So Albert has to play the 6-9 to 3. So Marty's going to have a chance now to hit, but he isn't able to do it. 6-2. We've got people bumping the board. People are bumping the board. So 2-6. We do have, you can't see it, but there are a bunch of kibitzers that people want to know what's going on in the finals, and they're coming over, and as they kind of lean over the board, they're kind of bumping our camera, and that's what's happening. The camera is kind of in traffic. We are playing in a restaurant. Their tables are kind of close together. Anyway, back to the match. 2-6. Marty's considering how to play this 2-6, so he comes in with the 2, and now what's he going to do with the 6? He can if he hits, he'll be exposing another blot. He can also expose another blot by slotting, or he can come out and play with just 2 blots. He decides to put the pressure on. He comes down because Albert doesn't have a board, and Albert's got a blot of his own. So now a double 2, and Albert's not able to hit, but it's a productive roll because he's going to be able to make his 4 point. Oh, maybe it was a 4-2. I guess it was a 4-2. I was thinking with a 2-2, he could have even taken away half of Marty's roll. But anyway, 6-5, 6-5, and Marty does what he can with it, which is a point on a deuce, and Albert fans. So Albert fans, and Marty's on roll. He's got aces and deuces to pick up a second blot. He's got 3s to make a 4-point board. He's behind in this match 4-0. So, for money, I don't think he'd be considering doubling, but maybe because of the match score, he's taking a moment to think about it. He still holds off. He rolls a 4-3, so he's able to cover his 5 point. He makes a 4-point board, but now Albert rolls 4-6 and comes in, and he's going to leap into the outfield and get past those attacking builders. But Marty's still got 1s and 2s to hit in Albert's inner board. He's got 3s to hit in the outside. So 20 good numbers for Marty. He's also got numbers like Albert's got to take this cue, but Marty's got 20 numbers that hit. Maybe Albert should have thought a little bit. It probably is a take, but Albert could have thought a little bit because there is gammon risk here. He can hit because after Marty hits one of these checkers, if Albert doesn't come in, Marty's going to have a lot of chances to hit a second checker. And so now with the 2-1, where should Marty hit the checker? If he hits the back one, this sends does the most damage to Albert's racing chances, but it makes it a little bit harder to pick up the other blot. So if Marty were to hit instead 13 to 10, then he has better chances to pick up the other blot, but only when Albert fans. So Marty hits the back one, Albert fans, and now 5-4. Marty marks a 5-point board, and Albert needs to come in quick. Albert needs to come in quick, and he does 3-5. So what does he do with the 5? He's got a number of options here. He can come down with the 5 and just leave a 5 shot. He could have maybe hit. Hitting would have exposed another blot. So Albert just plays with one blot, 4-1. And now a double 6. Marty's able to hit loose. So I was about to say Albert's going to probably have 2 rolls to maybe anchor up. But no, Marty's able to hit him off right away. And now Albert's facing having to roll a 3 right away just to stay alive here. Marty comes down with the last 6. He gets another builder in zone, even though it doesn't create a double 6 is kind of a bad roll for Marty. It forces him to dump his builders on the ace point. So Marty's kind of has no covers now for that 3-point, but so Marty has played the 4. He's considering what to do with the 5. He can try to escape, or he can come in and bring another builder onto the 3-point. He plays for the escape. I might have chose the other way because closing Albert out seems to be the main consideration here. Now with the 5-1, is Marty going to keep his point slotted, or is he going to he can still win a lot of gammons with just a 5-point board. He doesn't really want to be hit. The problem with getting hit is that it increases Albert's chances of anchoring. At least this way, if Albert comes in with a 3, Marty's liable to have builders in place to kind of knock him back off that point. So Marty's probably not gonna make that 3-point, but Albert's got so much work to do even after coming in that Marty can win a gammon without closing him out. He doesn't need to close him out. So what's he gonna do with this 4-2? So if he plays 10-4, he's basically Marty's counting his bad numbers. If he plays 10-4, he's going to have a bad 6-6. Actually leaves a double shot. 6-5. All the other 6s are going to leave a single shot. I think 6-1 and 6-2 would be okay, but 6-6 leaves a double shot. 6-3, 6-4, and 6-5 would be bad. Would he have any bad 5s? Let's see. No double 5s is okay. 6-5, 5. Yeah, I think so. 7 bad numbers after playing 10-4. If he plays, he can play 10-6, 9-7. Actually, that looks completely safe. I think I would just do that. I would just play 10-6, 9-7. Another option is 9-5, 10-8. That would leave a bad double 5. Actually 10-6, 9-7 leaves a bad double 4. Yeah, it's a bad double 4. So it's a bad double 5 after 9-5, 10-8, and a bad double 4. So yeah, now I like this play because this this makes it a little bit easier to clear the 6. 5-2. Was that 5-2? Oh, must have been caught. 5-2 was like perfect. 5-2 would have. So 4-5, and Marty brings one in and takes one off. There was another play. He could have maybe pre-cleared the 6-point, but I don't think Marty gave that too much consideration. Albert does have 2 checkers up on the roof. Marty's liable to win a gammon here just by playing safe. 3-1. What does Marty do with the 3-1? He can pick and pass, but it's kind of awkward. I don't think he needs to pick and pass. I think he just needs to kind of make a safe play, which would be 5 to 2, 1 to off. How much safer is it than the other play? Yeah, it looks significantly safer. I think Marty's going to play 5 to 2, 1 to off. The he might win a few more gammons by hitting him, but he definitely gets hit more. And even though Albert's only got a 2-point board, he's got no checkers on a play. He's got decent structure, so the game can turn around. Now, Albert's got the beginnings of a position, so things can turn around quickly. When Marty gets hit, he's liable to only have a 3-point board left, and so Albert will have some latitude to slash away and play aggressively because he'd only be facing a 3-point board. So Marty finally decides to play safe. Now double three. Albert's off the bar and making his 5 points. So Albert can contain from here if he's lucky enough to get a shot. But that's the problem, is he just doesn't get many shots. So some numbers. Oh, that's one of them. That is. I was going to say some numbers leave a shot here. 6-4 was one of them. Marty has to leave an ace shot. Albert's not able to hit it. So with the 5-4, he can try to race off the G by sending both guys. It's either, or he can hope for the double aces and stay back and get another shot. Leaving with one doesn't buy him anything. So, if he leaves at one, he's going to leave with the other one. Otherwise, he stays back with both of them and tries to hope for the double ace. He wouldn't have to waste a few pips. So if he thinks he can race off this G, then he probably doesn't want to waste the pips. I think it looks pretty. I think it's going to be tough to run off this G. So 6-5, he can get 2 crossovers. We missed a roll. There was a little bit of a hiccup in our connection. 6-3, now 4-1 for Marty, and Albert basically needs a set of boxes. He doesn't get it. He can get another chance though if Marty rolls an ace. So if Marty rolls an ace, he will get another roll. He wants to see if he can make this. This buys him double fours. This will get him off on double fours, but so would the other play. I don't think he can get double threes, but it's doesn't matter because Marty doesn't roll an ace, so Albert's not going to get another roll, and Marty ties up the score, 4-4. Okay, so Marty ties it up, 4-4. 3-1 for Albert. He makes his 5 point, and now 4-3 for Marty, and he brings the 4 down. He has to decide what to do with the 3. He splits 6-5, and the 6 is out, and then Albert's going to have to decide between running all the way or bringing in another builder to the 8 point. He decides to run all the way. Now Marty's got a 6-4, so he's leaping out with the 6 and covering with the 4. So he's leaving a shot, but he's getting an asset in return for it. The 9 point is a decent asset, but he gets hit 3-2, and now a fan, and Albert's got 10 in the zone. Marty's up on the bar. Albert's got a stronger board. Both players only have 1 man back, so Albert's doubling aggressively here. Marty hasn't acted yet. I think this is a take. I mean, this has to be a take, right? I mean, Marty's checker is not really under attack. The 9 point. Oh, Marty's passing this. Marty passed. I'm a little surprised. yeah, Albert did have the 5 point, and he did have 10 checkers in the zone. Although one of those, it's really more like 9.5 in the zone. That checker on the 11 point isn't really a builder for an inner board point. It does help build a blockade. The thing is, Marty had his 9 point. I think that should have been enough for him to take. But anyway, Marty passes, and now you know it's gives Albert a 5-4 lead. This is a 5 away score. So this is a tricky score. This is a score where the leader can go out perfectly with a doubled gammon, and so you have some interesting cube decisions. A lot of times you actually will double a little bit earlier as the leader at the score because you want to take advantage of the efficiency of your gammons. So Albert's jumped out to a development lead. He's got his 5 and 4 points, but Marty is able to make his own 5 point, and now Albert's anchoring up. So Marty's been able to escape a checker. So a pretty even game so far. I think Albert's slightly ahead, and now Albert is clearly ahead. He makes the 5 prime and 6-5 for Marty, and this is the kind of position I think where Albert can actually think about turning the cube. Although even Albert can think about doubling this here, and he's aware that of the situation. He's thinking about it. Not sure how many gammons Albert wins here because Marty only has one checker back, and Albert's not really threatening to make the 6 prime right away, but he is going to bring builders in, and Marty's got to get up to the edge and then get over this 5 prime. So I do think this is a double. Albert agrees. He turns the cube, and now Marty's the one with the problem. Marty is also aware of the match score implications, and so I think Marty should take. Albert does have 2 checkers back. He's not threatening immediately to make the 5 prime, and even though he'll be bringing in builders, if Marty rolls an ace, he's threatening to get out. Albert may go on the attack, but Marty's got decent structure. He's made his 5 point. He's got flexible builders. He can, that blot on the 2 point isn't really a good place for that checker, but it does represent a half of a point. It could become a 3rd point in the board, which if Marty does hit a shot, a 3-point board may buy him enough time to leap this prime, but Marty doesn't like it. He does have a lot of work to do, so Marty lets it go. If I was playing doubles and Marty was my partner, and I'm saying I think we have enough to take here, but he's saying he wants to let it go, I'd have agreed and let it go. That's how much respect I have for Marty. Marty's a well-known backgammon player. He's written some books. He has he's actually has a Grandmaster, I believe Grandmaster Class 2 rating from the Backgammon Masters awarding body, which is based on his error rate in streamed matches. So Marty is a very strong player, stronger than me for sure. Anyway, we're now 3 away, 5 away, and Marty's got I believe a 4-1 here. He could hit twice, but he doesn't like putting checkers out of play on the ace point, so he decides to kind of reinforce his 8 point with a builder. He comes down with the 4-1. Now a 5-2, so his back men are blocked. He cannot advance his back men, so he's going to have to play with other checkers. So he comes down with the 5, and then with the 2, he was thinking maybe 6-4, but that checker's slightly out of play, so he just plays plays 8-6 with the 2. Albert's able to anchor up, and now double fours. Double fours for Marty. He's gonna advance his anchor, and then for the last 2, he's either gonna run. He's gonna either try to into a race and run out, or he can make his deuce point. He can even slot his 5. So he's got 3 plays to consider. He's gonna count the race. It looks like. The race looks close. The race looks pretty close. In fact, I think it's 1 pip. I think. Oh, maybe 5 pips. Let's see. Albert's up. No, Albert's up 1 pip after the roll. So the race is basically even. So what does that mean? What should Marty do with these double fours? I think I would, even though the race is even, I think I would run into the outfield. Although that does relieve a lot of pressure on Albert's forward checkers, but what it does is it allows Marty to take full advantage of a double 6, and it also he doesn't have to strip his points or bury checkers deep. So anyway, Marty did it. He ran into the outfield, so 6-4 now, and now another double 4, and Marty's rear checkers are blocked, so he's going to have to play. Probably going to come down with 3, and then think about the last one. I think 6-2 is okay here. A lot of times you don't want to go to the deuce point in what can become a race, but those double 4s put Marty up ahead in the race, so he can afford to waste a little bit. And you can't even argue that that's wastage. 1 checker on the deuce point is not really wastage. So Marty's on roll now, and he's thinking about the cue. But we figured out before that the race is still pretty close, even though Marty rolled the double 4s. Albert rolled a 6-4, so Marty can only be up maybe a few pips. So still not a cube. Pretty far from a cube, actually, I think. So people, the plays are going to be pretty routine, I think. The next roll or 2, players are just going to play safe and not leave any directs. Okay, so 4-1 can be a little bit awkward. I think Marty's just going to play 8-3. Okay, this is another way to go. This is the 9-point really wasn't providing too much value. I think that's what Marty was thinking, and so we may as well break it and keep 2 flexible spares. Double 3s clears, and now Marty can think about the cube, but he's going to have to count the race. If he's up enough in the race, he can double because there's not much contact left, and if he clears that 10-point with a race lead, he will lose his market. I'm not sure what the race is, but you can be sure Albert's going to count it and make sure that it's right. So Albert is down 10. I believe 10 pips. I believe it's a 10 pips difference. And so this should be a pretty comfortable take. If it's only 10 pips, Albert has both racing chances and some hitting chances because even though he doesn't have a lot of contact left, he does have some left. Marty isn't guaranteed to be able to clear this position safely, and part of clearing this position might involve having to waste some checkers, which would make the race a little bit effectively more favorable to Albert. This is not a gammonish position either way, so the match score shouldn't affect too much the cube decision. Albert is a little bit restrained on the recue, but not enough to make this a pass. He is such a comfortable take. And now 6-5, he can just enter the race. He can enter the race. Double twos gets Marty 4 crossovers, and now he's ready to start bearing off. And Albert's quite a ways from bearing off. 6-4, 6-4. So Albert's got 4 crossovers before he can start even bearing off. And Marty's already ripping checkers. He's got 2 off. 3-1. 5-3. So Marty gets another checker off and slightly covers his gap on the 3-point. Double fives. Great roll from Marty. He rips 2 off. 2 more checkers down to the ace. And so the last 2 fives were kind of wasted. But a good roll nonetheless. 3-2. 6-4 for Albert. 2-1. Albert needs a lot of help here. 2-1. That's not much help at all. And now double 6 is pretty much gonna make it gin, I think. Okay, so 6-6 now. 6-6. So 3 away, 3 away. Oh wait, what happened? Oh yeah, there we go. 6-6. For a second, they had me thinking that I had the score in my head wrong, but no, it was 3 away, 5 away. Now it's 3 away, 3 away. So another tight match. These guys have been battling it out. It's neck and neck. Looks like Albert's taking a quick break. Yes, Albert's taking a quick break. Okay, so maybe a few minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. So 3 away, 3 away. Double 2 for Marty. He can't safety his blot, so he's, I guess he's thinking about whether to advance all the way up to the 20 point or to make the 4 point. I believe he has two twos left. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. All right, that was an adjustment. Okay, so I believe he has two twos yet. And, yeah, I think he wants to make the 4 point here. Advancing to the 20 point is an improvement, but I think the 4 point is a bigger improvement. And now 4-2 for Albert. He can hit with the 4. He's going to have to figure out how to play the 2. He moves up. He moves up to the 16 point. And now a double 2 again for Marty. So this will hit back. Believe he's going to hit back. And then he's going to have one more 2 to play after hitting. He can either come up to the 21 point, or he can create a new builder for maybe the 5 point or the bar point. Coming up to the 21 puts direct pressure on Albert's blot on the 10 point, but another checker in the zone is valuable too. So Marty's thinking about this play carefully. If he rolls a 6, how does he want to use it? He probably wants to hit with the 6. I think I would step up here. The 21 point could be a reasonable anchor to make later, or that checker just isn't doing much on the 23, and playing 13 to 11 is going to cost him the last spare he has on his midpoint. So he might not want to give up the flexibility there. But it would be, he doesn't do either. He comes closer. So he was trying to, he didn't want to give Albert a good 6 from the bar, but Albert ended up rolling a good 6 anyway. He rolled an ace-6. So Albert hits, but then Marty hits back, and now another ace-6. So a little bit of a hitting contest going on the bar point. 3-6, and Marty's got 5 checkers back, so he's just not afraid anymore of going as fast forward as he can, and if it doesn't work out, he'll try and fall back into some kind of back game. 5-6 now for Albert, so he just kind of runs out. He's trying to partially escape his checker. 2-1, so Marty has a choice. He can hit and then try and find another ace, or he can just make the 5 point. He can also secure his back game with by making the 21 point. I don't think I would hit here. I think I would either make the 5 point or the 21 point. The thing about playing a back game is you have to have one first. Like, you have to have the second anchor. It's not always easy. Oh, so Marty hits and spreads out. So this is an interesting compromise, because it gives him chances of going both forward and backward. It takes away half of Albert's roll. Albert would like to make one of those points somewhere. Albert hasn't made any new points, and so Marty was depriving him of the opportunity of making a new point with that play. And now he got hit. Marty had pretty good chances of making a second anchor, but he rolled kind of a dud number here. 3-6 comes in and it hits, but he's not even sure where he wants to hit. He can hit in the outfield, or he can hit on the bar. I think I would hit in the outfield. Oh, Marty's hitting on the bar. He's now a 5-4 for Albert. I think he's just going to make an anchor here and kind of stick an anchor right into the points that Marty's trying to make. So 4-1. Marty's going to be able to make a second point. So he finally secures a back game, but Albert's got a ton of timing here. It's going to be tough for Marty to time this, I think. He's going to have to double 3s. What does double 3s do? So Marty can kind of trying to give up on this poorly timed back game and maybe make a stand somewhere else. He can advance the 18 point and kind of fall into a holding game. But and that's what he's doing. He sees that the timing isn't really that favorable for him, and he advances to the 18 point. He's got a lot of contact still on Albert's points, and double 6 for Albert. Double 6. What will Albert do here? So how is Albert going to play this role? So if Albert hits, so Marty's got an innerboard blot. That is part of the consideration here. Albert cannot play this role completely safely. Since he can't play safely, he's probably thinking that he should probably hit anyway. Now, after hitting, he can either try to escape all the way. He can run his last 2 checkers all the way around the board, or he can make his 4 points. So he's very carefully figuring out the requirements of this position. So he hits first. He's kind of he's going to be playing a checker out either way. After playing one of the 6s out, he's either going to make the 4 point or run all the way around. Don't really know. I think the 4 point looks pretty good. The 10 point, the 10 point keeps his checkers connected, but it's not. The 4 point. Yes, this is a bonus. So Albert makes the 4 point, and he's rewarded for it because he increased Marty's fanning numbers from 1 to 4, and Marty rolled one of those numbers, and now 6-2, and Albert makes a 3 point board, and 3-1, and kind of an awkward number for Marty. He comes in with the 3. He doesn't want to. He's only got 9 checkers in his forward position, so he wants to keep them as close together as he can and try and build as best a prime as he can. Albert sees that's the flaw in the position for Marty, and so he's cubing because there are gammons here. Marty has 6 checkers back. And he has a forward position that is not really ready to contain a hit checker yet. It's going to be hard for Marty to contain, but he does have some contact on Albert's 8 point, but not a whole lot really. Once Albert gets those stragglers home, it's pretty safe and. Marty was definitely a favorite to get a bunch of shots in the next few rolls. The problem is the containment situation. His board was not ready at all for containment, and if he did hit, sometimes when he hits, he would have had to break his 18 point and then just open up a can of backgammons. if that's a term, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He would open up a can of backgammon worms, let's say, and. There may have been some numbers where he wouldn't have even wanted to hit because his board wasn't ready. So anyway, he lets it go, and now it's a 2-away, 3-away score. Albert's leading 7-6-9. Now a 6-3 for Marty. 6-3 for Marty. He comes in with the 3 and he runs out with the 6. Albert's able to hit back with a 4-5. He hits with a 4 and brings a 5 down. And now another fan. Double 6. This is a great number. So he can. He's probably coming down with 2, and then for the last 2, he can either come out or continue the attack. He goes on the attack. He has a reasonable chance of completing a blitz here. Actually, Marty's got no innerboard points. He's only got a 1 point board. Albert's got a 13 checkers in the zone. Marty's got 2 up on the roof, and if Albert can win an undouble gammon, that'll win him the match. So I would just steam away here. I would just plow on, and I would not double this. Marty's take point is 25% here. The gammons don't matter anymore after the cubist turn because Marty would just return to 4. I don't know if Marty has 25% or not, but it doesn't matter because Albert's just crushing him. Albert's just way too good. He doesn't want to consider the cube. He does not cube. He rolls on. He's now made a 5 point board. Marty's on the ropes. He really needs to get off the bar and make an anchor before Albert closes him out. Otherwise, Albert's going to just cruise home to an easy G. 3-2. So Albert runs checker into the outfield, and 5-2. This hits. Okay. I think I would just come down with the 5. This buys him double 3 and double 6 to make the 3-point. 4-2. 4-2 for Albert. So he can get another builder for the 3-point. So double 5s is bad either way, whether he steps up or not. 3-2. So Marty comes in with 1. So hoping to still make an anchor. Marty has some hope to make an anchor. Even if he does, he gets gammoned a lot. I mean, it's a pretty bad situation for Marty. 6-1. Albert's considering whether he wants to lift that blot or not. I would not lift. I would just try to close it out. Even if Marty hits back, Albert's got enough other spares in play to continue the attack. He really doesn't want Marty to anchor there, and so he does not lift. Marty fans, Albert covers, and now he just needs to bring it home safe. So he's unable to avoid a bad double 6. So but he does not roll double 6. So he now brings his checkers in to a safe position. 5-1 is a little bit awkward. A little bit awkward with 5-1. I think he's going to move 6 to 5. He's going to try and clear that 6-point. He wants to let Marty start coming in. So Albert's found himself with an awkward position. Marty's going to get some shots here. With certain numbers, double 4s will leave a shot. The problem is Marty's got 3 up on the roof. Even if he hits this thing, he's gonna have to scramble the rest of his checkers off the par. 4-3, he misses. Maybe Albert will leave a repeater. Yes, he does. So 5-3. Albert rips 2. 4-2. Marty misses again. 6-2. Albert rips off 2, and Marty's going to need to stay out. He does not stay out. Double 6. If he's going to come in, he may as well roll double 6, but just too far behind. Even with double 6, Marty's just not going to have enough to save this G. He might just give it up. Yeah, he gives it up. He concedes, and so now Albert wins match number 3. Albert takes a 2-match to 1-match lead. This is the 2017 NEBC Championship Finals. The winner gets crowned the champion. And let me just